Week 9, Day 4, 2 Kings, chapter 1. And after the death of Ahab, Moab rebelled against Israel. Now Ahaziah fell through the lattice in his upper chamber in Samaria and lay sick. So he sent messengers telling them, "Go, inquire of Baal-zebub, the god of Ekron, whether I shall recover from the sickness." But the angel of the Lord said to Elijah the Tishbite, "Arise, go and meet the messengers of the king of Samaria, and say to them, Is it because there is no God of Israel that you are going to inquire of Baal-zebub, the god of Ekron? Now therefore, thus says the Lord, you shall not come down from the bed in which you have gone up, but you shall surely die." So Elijah went. The messengers returned to the king and said to him, "Why have you returned?" And they said to him, "There came a man to meet us, and he said to us, Go back to the king who sent you, and say to him, Thus says the Lord, Is it because there is no God in Israel that you are sending to inquire of Baal-zebub, the god of Ekron? Therefore, you shall not come down from the bed in which you have gone up, but you shall surely die." He said to them, "What kind of man was he who came to meet you and told you these things?" And they answered him, "He wore a garment of hair and a belt of leather about his waist." And he said, "It is Elijah the Tishbite." Then the king sent to him a captain of 50 men with his 50. He went up to Elijah, who was sitting on the top of the hill, and said to him, "O man of God, the king says, Come down." But Elijah answered the captain of 50, "If I am a man of God, let fire come down in heaven and consume you and your 50. Then fire came down from heaven and consumed him and his 50. Again the king sent him another captain of 50 men with his 50. And he answered and said to him, "O man of God, this is the king's order. Come down quickly." But Elijah answered him, "If I am a man of God, let fire come down from heaven and consume you and your 50. Then the fire of God came down from heaven and consumed him and his 50. Again the king sent the captain of the third 50 with his 50. And the third captain of 50 went up and came and fell on his knees before Elijah and entreated him, "O man of God, please let my life and the life of these 50 servants of yours be precious in your sight. Behold, fire came down from heaven and consumed the 2 former captains of 50 men and their 50s. But now let my life be precious in your sight." Then the angel of the Lord said to Elijah, "Go down with him. Do not be afraid of him." So he arose and went down with him to the king and said to him, "Thus says the Lord, because you have sent messengers to inquire of Baal-zebub, the god of Ekron, is it because there is no God in Israel to inquire of his word? Therefore, you shall not come down from the bed from which you have gone up, but you shall surely die." So he died according to the word of the Lord that Elijah had spoken. Jehoram became the king in his place in the 2nd year of Jehoram the son of Jehoshaphat, king of Judah, because Ahaziah had no son. Now the rest of the acts of Ahaziah that he did, are they not written in the book of Chronicles of the kings of Israel? Coping Mechanisms by A.J. Hoffman. A lot has changed since yesterday. We're in an entirely new book. Let's set the table in order to get everything we can out of this passage. Moab is a neighboring nation of Israel that has been under Israeli control since the time of David. When King Ahab died, he was replaced with Ahaziah. Spoiler alert, he also stinks. And because the nation had been backsliding spiritually, it's starting to backslide politically and economically as well. The Moabites seize this opportunity and rebel against Israel. Things get worse when King Ahaziah has an accident, plunging both the nation and his life into critical condition. When things get bad, it reveals where we place our trust. For Ahaziah, he places his trust in the pagan Philistine god Baal. He is probably paralyzed, unable to get out of bed, and wants to know if he will recover. Instead of praying to God, he sends 50 men to hear what Baal has to say. There's no doubt that King Ahaziah believed that Yahweh lived, yet he lived as if there was no God in Israel. He was a practical atheist. The way he sought Baal instead of the Lord demonstrates this. Elijah is sent to ask the king why he lives the way he does. Why does he place his hope in the world above the one who created it? He asks the same of us today. Have you ever been paralyzed? For many of us, probably not. But I bet you have been mentally and emotionally stuck before. What is your go-to coping mechanism? for when all hell breaks loose. What's your medicine of choice? Mine's NyQuil. That stuff is amazing. But seriously, how many of us are stuck smoking weed because it's the only way we can learn to relax? How many of us are denying that we need alcohol or some other coping mechanism to get us through the week? Maybe it's as simple as using food to distract us from our stress. Here's the issue. These things fall short of fixing our problem. And usually the side effects are way worse than the cure. Have you ever seen those drug commercials? It feels like every other ad is selling some sort of drug to fix something. Do you ever listen to the list of side effects? I remember hearing one of the drug's side effects. May result in loss of life. Worth it. The devil will send you just about anything to keep you from turning to the Lord in prayer. He won't list the side effects. He won't even list the long-term damages of taking his medicine. He just wants you to slowly get yourself more and more stuck, dependent on the things that won't ever bring the cure for your pain. The only question is, are you falling for it? Question 1. What are your coping mechanisms for when things get difficult? List the things that you feel tempted to turn to instead of God. Question 2. What on your phone causes you to self-medicate? Parents, are you being distracted by your phone instead of parenting your kids? Question 3. What are some healthy, godly coping mechanisms? What causes you to turn towards the unhealthy versus the healthy? Daily prayer. God, show me where I place my trust in things that are not of you. Show me the lies and replace them with truth.